everyone. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to wipe out thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars in debt fast, even if you're living on a low income. I'm talking credit cards, medical bills, personal loans, those debts that are holding you back and keeping you from reaching your full potential and achieving your financial goals. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what to do to take control of your finances, pay off your debt, and start building financial freedom. The first way to get out of debt fast is to face your debt head on. Listen, I know it's uncomfortable and I know it can make you want to hide under the covers and ignore it, but here's the truth. You cannot fix what you don't know. So grab a pen and paper or open a spreadsheet, right? And list every single debt that you have. Focus on what I call bad debt. These are the debts that lose value over time, like credit cards, payday loans, medical bills, and personal loans as well. If someone asks you today, how much debt do you have? You should be able to answer them confidently, okay? I have $17,000 in debt, $23,000, $40,000. Don't hide from it and don't ignore it and don't sugarcoat it. Think of it this way. You are taking the first step up the roller coaster of debt. Facing your numbers might feel scary, but it's also freeing because now you know exactly what you are dealing with, and that means you can take control. The second step to getting rid of your debt is picking up the phone and calling your creditors. Yes, listen, I know this is not your favorite part to do, but hear me out here. Sometimes debts, especially medical bills or auto accounts, can be negotiated down. You might be able to settle a bill for less than what it says on paper. In many cases, a simple 5 to 10 minute conversation can save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars. All I ask you to this step is just to be brave enough to face the person on the other side of the phone and as well as face those numbers. Now on to the third part of your debt payoff journey, which is budgeting. Now listen, I know a lot of us hate this particular B word, right? But it is the only B word that should actually be coming out of our mouth. That and bless you. But wait, that's two words, so never mind. You cannot pay off debt quickly if you do not know how much extra money you have coming in each and every month. It is like trying to drive to a destination without knowing how much gas is in your tank. That's ridiculous. That is why I highly recommend that you budget, and you can do so by using my financial freedom budget template to make paying off debt easier, faster, and stress-free for you. The template is going to help you determine how much extra money you have each month. There are sections for you to list your income, all your expenses, and your debts as well. This is the only way you can actually figure out accurately how much you can put towards your debt each month. And here's the key. Treat your debt like it is a fixed bill. Don't fall into the trap of just paying your bills and then throwing whatever is left at your debt, okay? Listen, that is how debt lingers for years. All right, for the next step, let's talk about one of my most favorite payoff strategies, which is the debt snowball method. Now listen, if you ever felt like your debt is this giant, intimidating mountain that you'll never be able to climb, then this method is about proving to yourself that you can. And here's how this one works, step by step. First, list all your debts from smallest balance to the largest balance. Don't overthink the interest rates right now. We're just focusing on momentum and not math. So once you've listed all your debts from the smallest to the largest, then pay the minimum on every single debt except for the smallest one. So for example, right, let's say you've got a $400 store credit card as well as a $1,200 medical bill, followed by a $3,000 personal loan, and lastly, a $7,000 car loan. What you're going to do is start with that $400 card, and then you might pay it off in a month or two, and then boom, that's your first win. And then you take that freed up money and throw it at the medical bill next. That one might take a few months. Next, you attack the personal loan, and finally the car loan. By the time you get to the last debt, you might be throwing hundreds more each month than when you started, because your snowball has grown bigger and bigger and bigger. So if you've ever tried other strategies and you quit halfway through, then the snowball method might be exactly what you need, because it gives you quick wins early, and those wins build the motivation that keeps you consistent and keep you going. So don't underestimate it. All right, the next step in our debt payoff strategy is increasing your income, okay? This is going to be one of the most powerful things that you can do. So let's start with side hustles, right? Can you drive for Uber, Lyft, or deliver for DoorDash, or babysit, mow lawns, or clean houses on the weekend? If you're already good at something, then go ahead and use it. Next, you can use your skills for freelance, right? Can you write, design, or tutor? Sites like Fiverr or Upwork can connect you to paying gigs very fast. Next, you can sell your stuff. Can you go through your house and find a treadmill that's collecting dust? Put it on Facebook Marketplace. If you have designer shoes you only wore once to your friend's wedding, put it on Poshmark, right? If you have old electronics, then you can put it on eBay. Every small dollar is going to add up and help you pay off your debt very fast. Also, if you don't want a side hustle, you can also ask for overtime or a raise. Sometimes the simplest option is right where you already work. And remember, this doesn't have to be forever, right? You're not doing this to work yourself into the ground. You're doing this to build momentum and free yourself way faster. Now, let's talk about the other side of the coin, which is cutting back. If boosting income is offense, then trimming expenses is your defense. You cannot win the game without both of these strategies. Here's the truth. Most of us are spending more than we realize on things that don't actually bring us long-term joy. So for now, I want you to challenge yourself, right? Can you cut back on dining out? Cooking at home might not sound exciting, but it's one of the best ways to free up cash. Can you pause the vacations or your weekend getaways? You can travel later. Right now, your financial future is your destination. Next, you can audit your subscriptions, right? Check your bank statements for those sneaky recurring charges. Are you really using all of them? Probably not. You alone don't need Netflix and Hulu and Spotify and YouTube Music. Just cut it down to just one expense so you can use the rest of that money to free it up and pay off your debt. Even just $25 a week can add up to $100 more a month that you can put towards your debt. So don't underestimate cutting your expenses. So now that we've talked about strategies, tactics, and numbers, let's talk about the real secrets behind paying off debt way faster, which is what? Your mindset. Because here's the truth. Money management is 20% numbers and 80% behavior. You can have the best spreadsheets, the perfect budgeting app, and a color-coded tracker. But if your mindset is not right, you're going to fall back into the same cycle over and over and over again. So what you gotta do is be disciplined and show up even when it's inconvenient for you. There are gonna be days when you're tired, when you want to splurge, or when it feels like you're not making progress fast enough. Discipline says, I'm doing it anyway. Commitment says, I'm not giving up just because it is taking longer than I expected, right? And focus says, I'm going to keep going and keep my eyes on my financial freedom and not somebody else's lifestyle. The people who win with money are not the ones who make the most. They are the ones who stay consistent. Also, keep reminding yourself why you started. Was it to stop living paycheck to paycheck? Was it to buy a home? Whatever your reason is, let that fuel your fire. Every debt you pay off, whether it's $200 or $2,000, is a huge dream and a huge step. That is one less bill stealing your peace, so don't minimize it. And remember that those small wins add up to huge results. And there you have it, a complete roadmap to paying off debt faster on a low income. If you found this video helpful, do me a favor and do these 3 quick things, right? Share it with somebody who needs this message right now. Smash that like button so YouTube knows that this is the kind of content that matters to you. And comment below, are you currently in debt and how are you tackling it? I'd love to hear your story, okay? I'm cheering for you every single step of the way. And always remember that the best time to invest in yourself was yesterday. The second best time is now. You got this.